Hi there, this is part 6 of my soon-to-be published book, Becoming You, Reparenting Your Inner World. So, Becoming You, this section is called Reparenting Your Inner World. Somewhere inside you is a child who never quite got what they needed. Not because anyone failed you on purpose, but because no parent, however loving, can meet every single emotional need of a growing child. That child grew up, but the unmet parts of them did not disappear. They're still there, still feeling, still hoping someone will finally show up for them properly. In this part of Becoming You, we're going to talk about how you can become that someone. This is the work of reparenting your emotional world. And let's start with the big idea. Reparenting means learning to give yourself as an adult what you needed and did not fully receive as a child. It does not mean blaming your parents. Most parents did the best they could with whatever they've been given themselves. Reparenting is not about looking backward with resentment. It is about looking inward with responsibility. Now, in my psychological model, the Filial Psyche, we talk about 3 voices. The inner child, who carries your feelings and your needs and experiences, the inner critic, who carries the old rules meant to keep you safe, and the inner nurturing parent, the voice capable of meeting the child with warmth and meeting the critic with wisdom. Reparenting is the ongoing practice of strengthening that third voice so it can finally do the job that once fell to someone else. This matters more than most people realize, because when the inner nurturing parent is weak or silent, the inner child is left alone with big feelings and nowhere safe to put them. And the inner critic, sensing that absence, often steps in instead, offering harsh discipline in place of warmth. This is why so many adults are excellent at pushing themselves and terrible at comforting themselves. They learned how to demand more, but never how to soothe themselves. When sadness comes, they say, "Stop being dramatic." When fear comes, they say, "Oh, just get over it." When shame comes, they say, "You deserve to feel bad." None of this is cruelty for its own sake. It is simply what happens when no one ever taught that person how to parent their own emotional world. The good news is that this can be learned at any age. So what gets in the way of learning it? Well, the first obstacle is unfamiliarity. Many people have never actually experienced consistent emotional attunement, so they do not know what it feels like, let alone how to offer it to themselves. The second obstacle is guilt. Turning toward your own pain with kindness can feel indulgent, especially if you were raised to believe that needs were an inconvenience to others. And the third obstacle is impatience. People often try reparenting once, feel awkward or unconvinced, and give up, expecting instant transformation from a single conversation with themselves. But reparenting is not a single conversation. It is a relationship built slowly, the same way any good relationship is built, through repetition, patience, and consistency over time. Here is a new way of thinking about this. Imagine your inner child as a real child standing in front of you right now. If that child came to you frightened or ashamed or overwhelmed, what would you actually do? You probably would not lecture them. You would kneel down, you would ask what happened, you would let them know you were not going anywhere. This is exactly what the inner nurturing parent offers the inner child inside you. Not indulgence and not permissiveness, but simple presence. The nurturing parent does not remove boundaries. It simply adds warmth around them. It can say, "I understand why you're scared, and we are still going to try this, and I am staying right here with you the whole time." Now, that combination, understanding alongside encouragement, is what was often missing growing up, and it is what your inner child has been waiting for. The remarkable thing is that you can offer this to yourself in your own voice, starting today. And let's put this into practice. Think of a A recent moment when you felt a strong emotion, sadness, anxiety, embarrassment, anger, anything at all. Picture yourself as a child in that same emotional state. What would that child have needed to hear in that moment? Say it out loud in your own voice, using words like, I see you, I'm here, you are not in trouble, we will get through this together. Notice how unfamiliar and awkward this might feel. That unfamiliarity is not a sign you are doing it wrong. It is a sign you are doing something new. Practice this daily, even for 30 seconds, whenever a feeling arises. Over time, this new voice becomes less like a technique and more like a homecoming. Your inner child stops waiting for someone else to arrive because you already have. For more parts and chapters of my book, Becoming You, available on YouTube.